let's go with the big picture, big topic story that's hitting college football, college athletics across the board. Name, image, and likeness. How does this strike you? What do you think are the pros and cons?
It's a payday. I mean, finally the kids are getting, the chance. You got a bunch of guys. Mackenzie Milton signed on day one. He signed the deal with the company with De'Aaron King, Miami's quarterback, so they've got a deal going on. I'm of the opinion, and Mark, we've had our back and forth on this before. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem. Let me just say it like this. I don't think athletes should be getting paid like their NFL players. I don't think in any stretch of the imagination. But I look at a guy like Mackenzie Milton, for example. This was a guy who at UCF was one play, one injury away from you listen to doctors talking about the fact that they had to discuss possibly amputating his leg after one injury. And I think there's a lot of people who look at football players, they look at them as these great athletes, these great, physical specimens. They're one play away from a career-ending injury. They're one play away from, in some cases, being paralyzed. I don't have a problem with you getting the money while you can, because especially if you're not going to have an NFL career, if your career is going to end at Florida State or Florida or Miami, get the money while you can. Now there is a opposite side of that spectrum that says, can a player possibly be bought? Can a player be bought during the recruiting process to come to school? Is that the way things are going to eventually go that route? It's a slippery slope factor, but as far as just a player getting, $1,000 or something to appear at Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet in Tallahassee, or Mackenzie Milton becomes a new sponsor of Jim and Milt's restaurant in Tallahassee, I don't have a problem with that personally.
Yeah, to a certain extent, the black market has been eliminated, and that's a good thing. Everything's above board. Everything is out in the open in terms of players being compensated for and being able to, in the true American way, be able to earn and be compensated for the work that they've done, not necessarily directly the work, but profiting over what they produce on the football field.
It's like how you and I got compensated with our NIL game day hats and wristbands that we got months ago, that we were promised months ago.
You didn't check your mail. You didn't check your mail.
How's it going, buddy?
Oh, there you are.
Did you lose?
Of a true American capitalist right here.
It is.
Logan Robinson, NIL game day.
I look rough. I haven't touched or thought about football. Sadly, it's crazy to think in the last 4 or 5 days, but a lot of NIL stuff, some recruiting stuff, and just trying to catch up with everybody this week.
Did you lose power? What's going on? Are you
good? No.
Blue light special.
Yeah, I hurt my knee pretty badly on July 4th, and I'm worried that I might be matching my left one with the ACL situation. I got it checked up yesterday and get an MRI in the morning, so I'm handicapped right now.
While we hope for the best, and we all legitimately do want the best to come for you, I'm going to ask the question that we're all thinking: how drunk were you?
We were actually halfway. It was at the beginning. It was during midday, which was annoying. It was right when I got there, and so it wasn't at the, not even near fireworks.
Wow. You're becoming an old man. This isn't the Logan we joined 2 years ago.
It's disappointing. I got crutches in there. I've got a brace on right now, and that's reminding me of my days back in Child's high school days of snapping it in Gainesville on kickoff team.
You still have enough energy to mail me the hat that you promised me 6 months ago?
No, I don't. Now I lost all that energy. I've been stuck on my bed working from home today and icing all day long, and I've lost all my energy.
Jason showed a lot of care and concern there for a few minutes, and then he got right back to the hat.
We'll take it.
So, Logan, what do you think? Mark asked the question to me, pros and cons of the name, image, likeness. From what you've seen on the Tallahassee side, obviously we talked about Mackenzie Milton. A bunch of these guys signed stuff right away.
Yeah.
Where do you see this going? Do you see this as kind of a good thing that's going to happen, or do you see this as possibly a slippery slope?
I think it's got a long ways to go. I'm interested to see some more deals that go down. I think majority of these guys, definitely all across the country, are going to be maybe a little humbled. Maybe some of them think that they're worth a little bit more for the amount of rates that they're paying per hour. I think they're going to find out real quick. There's a reason why NFL guys pay this much money, but in college still it's a little minimal. It just depends on who you are. But there's some interesting things. I'm just hoping that they have good people behind them to help direct them, and I think a lot of programs are doing that. I think Florida State's doing a pretty good job at that. But, kids are going to be kids. And if they get offered this kind of money and they need to put out a tweet or two or put out an IG post, they're going to do it. And we've seen that. And they're probably getting paid a little bit, here and there. And that helps a lot. And that can go towards their families and such. And, I think to me, I like looking at the business wise and seeing how unique it is. Does it match someone's last name? Could it be like how it was with Dwayne Bacon back in his day? And you got a bacon brand that's helping endorse him. Like, there's all kinds of different things. I think it's got to be more unique than anything. And, McKenzie's going the NFT route, which is still fairly new. Definitely, if you're looking at people with the most money are going to be probably your boosters at FSU and such. And, they have zero clue. A lot of people, even my age, have zero clue what an NFT is. And, there's a lot of educating that I think still needs to go on in that department. But, you're seeing them go out to a restaurant here in town and help them out and get some exposure for them, which is nice. And, you've got Andrew Parchman. He's, his pay rate is $30 an hour, which I think is, I'm wondering what that entails, though. Is that him doing autographs for an hour, which I don't think that's a good rate on him as part. I want him to increase that a little bit. Or is that him, on FaceTime helping a kid out? That's something that I think would be good. We're so new into this that I think it's got a long ways to go. But, you look at Thibodeau, who just got a deal with the owner of Nike, and they've got something going on, which makes it really interesting to me. How does that work? Is that safe for the NCAA? Like, how does that go? I think there's just so many crossroads we're going to face. And I'm wondering how distracting it's also going to be during the football season, because we got to see that Devontae Love-Taylor stated that he will not be doing any kind of NIL stuff during the football season. Only during the offseason he will entertain that. So there's some guys that have already said, hey, I won't be doing anything during the football season. I am going to stay focused then. We're not going to worry about any kind of deals going on or endorsements, all that kind of stuff. So, and does that cause a problem in the locker room if there's a big game coming up and you've got Gaynor posting a new deal that he's doing and he's spending time on that all week, so it's going to be fun. It's a whole new world, and it's going to be interesting.
Get your money while you can. Yeah, that's my thing. It's a small window you have to be a football player. So get your money while you can. So we're going to ask you guys this question. This one goes out to Logan. Goes to Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Who would have been your sponsor? If you had been a college football player and you could have gotten a sponsorship deal, who would have been your sponsor, Logan?
I think if I still had them behind me, I would, but it'd probably be those Natty Ice boxes.
Natty Ice.
That would immediately have to be it. And I think I've already given them too much advertising throughout the last couple of years. So probably them.
Would you have done like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, just like off the top rope, span them together right as you score a touchdown?
I think I'd have to. Actually, I might not have them in my hands, but I would have to picture it. I mean, if I'm 21 then playing, then I'd definitely do it, most certainly.